Are you rethinking your purpose in life? Being centered in a strong spiritual connection is more important now than ever. Hi, I'm Bryn Blankinship, hypnotherapist, international instructor, and author. Each episode, I'll share my experiences with guiding spiritual regression clients into the afterlife and the soul lessons gained, prompting you to explore your own soul's journey and empowering you by shifting your perception of yourself and your place in this world. I want you to know that you're here by design, not by accident. You are not alone. You are loved. You are here on purpose for a purpose. When you stand in your truth and fulfill your purpose, you support others in fulfilling theirs. If this intrigues you, stay tuned in as we explore. So thank you for joining me today. We are going to talk about walking with the monks and the past life lesson that your soul remembers. And also a message of embodying peace. So I guess now many of you are aware of the monks making their walk for peace from Texas up to Washington, D.C. We're especially excited here on the East Coast because they came through. They came through North Carolina, through Raleigh, up through Lewisburg, into Virginia, Richmond, and they are making their way to D.C. And so these are familiar stomping grounds for me, and it's really exciting to have them come through and then to have that awareness go out into the world. So what are they really doing, right? They are an example of embodied peace. They are a prime example of that. And, from my work with clients, I know this isn't their first lifetime working with this. These souls are working on the mastery of mind over matter, mind over situations that are happening in the world, and how they can bring that energy of peace into a chaotic place. And, monks have lived in monasteries. They have lived these truths for many, many lifetimes. Whether they've reincarnated as a monk or new monks have taken on that experience. And so they bring that energy around the world always. But we're seeing more of it out in the world now because the news picked it up and it's gone global. And it's really exciting because I can feel the energy coming off of them. I feel their compassion. And, the compassion that they have for others hits home. And you might even start asking yourself, what does this mean for me as I'm watching the monks, as I'm even hearing about the monks? Like, what does this mean for me in my life? And noticing how many people are resonating with the energy of the monks. So how does knowing this help me now? So we're going to talk about the monks. We're going to talk about some of my past life regression clients, and then bring it together to show you some things that we have already been sharing on the show, the things that you can bring in to help you as you're moving through life and building a nice, strong foundation for you to come back to. So, we're exploring that past life wisdom, but how does that help me in present day? So in my book, The Limitless Soul, and when I'm talking about my stories in the book, I don't want to give away the whole story because then what's the point of reading it? But each time we we extract different pieces that are relevant to what we're talking about in the show. And then I remembered that I have 2 case studies in the book of clients of mine that had past lives as monks. So first we have Juniper, a Tangian monk in a past life, and she's helping clients to, in the past life, she joined a monastery and then went on to help others in the village by what she learned in the monastery. But between lives, what she does is she runs a spiritual rehab. She actually comes to Earth for a vacation, so to speak, because it's really intense what she's doing in the spirit world as a soul. And she's helping extreme souls when they return home. So she comes to Earth also to experience and explore and to help others. She's always helping the underdog. She's always looking out for other people. And she even became a hypnotherapist and a past life regressionist in current life to help with that exploration of humans, humanity, how souls experience the planet, how some souls get here and lose that connection to the point that they become extreme souls. And we're talking like serial killers and mass murderers, where something goes awry in the chemistry once they've incarnated. They don't incarnate with that purpose, but they get so far off track that they can't find their way back. And when they die and the soul goes back home, the soul remembers at a soul level, the soul needs a lot of healing to help them with what they've done, because they know what they've done. They're not being judged, but they know what they've done, and they go through an extreme process to rehab them. And in that rehab process, it is reparenting them. It is taking them back to their origins as a soul to help repattern that lifetime that things went off kilter. And we're not talking about a soldier that kills someone or a police officer that's put in a situation where they have to kill. We're not talking about that. And there's something to be learned through all of these experiences, right? But because we come here to experience on the planet, and we experience through different situations, different scenarios. But as a soul, she helps restore those connections for the souls that have lost their connection. And when they return home, they go through a spiritual rehab to regain that connection. And it's a very involved process. I only know a tiny piece of it through my client sessions, and I find it fascinating. But this client in current life, she knows who she is as a soul. She knows who she is, and she has a gift of compassion and a gift of perception, because Earth is not her first incarnation. She's incarnated on other planets. She's brought in that energy and that awareness along with her past life experiences, and then she brings that in to help others. So we're talking about embodying peace, and this is helping her to help others find their peace because they feel supported in life. And then she helps them as well in the spirit realm. So, all of the lifetimes come together to help you now. And so she did have that lifetime as the monk as part of her foundation for mental and emotional mastery as well. Then, at her core personality trait is helping others, being of service to others, not in servitude as much as in service, being compassionate and supportive. So these are all qualities that the monks carry as well. And then my other chapter that came to mind was the Taking the Path of Contemplation, chapter 4. And this was Jason. His past life was as Brother Henry, who was a European monk. And, he joined the monastery after his brother was killed in an accident and his parents died from grief. So he was angry. He was very angry at God. And he found his purpose, his useful purpose in the monastery, because everybody has a job. And then he would have to go in town to get supplies. So on his way to town, he found comfort sitting under this tree, which we give you an exercise in the book, the thinking tree exercise. And he would sit under the tree and just have conversations with God about how angry he was. And also he was grieving. And so over the course of time, he found peace. And then he began to find comfort in solitude and sitting under the tree. Sitting back, leaning on the tree gave him support from the energy of that tree. And it was helping him release the grief and the anger and transform that into peace. And then he was able to help others by finding that peace within himself, because he was very angry about the events that took place and he was trying to understand it. And then later, a fire broke out. But later in his life, a fire broke out in the village, and all of these elements came into play to help the others. I believe at that point he was a deacon in a church, and he was able to help others because he had learned mastery over the emotion, and that helps ground you in peace. And as these monks are walking, they're here to show us how to embody peace. And it's also about where you're focusing your energy. So as the earth is shifting, you're feeling this. You're feeling Gaia shift her energies and the Schumann resonance. We've had spikes in the Schumann resonance, over the past several months, past couple of years. We are energetic beings. We are spiritual beings tied to the planet, and we're feeling that. And we're feeling that energy. We might not know it as that. And then solar flares and like the full moon that we just had this weekend with the snow moon, which is interesting because I got 12 and 15 inches of snow in different parts of my yard, which we don't usually get snow here. So it's kind of exciting actually. But all of these events, you're feeling the energy of that. And these monks have been walking through that. They've been walking through Texas. They've been walking through all the way up through North Carolina, Virginia. The snow hit. They have calloused feet. They're carrying the lead monk carries an extra 30 or 40 pounds on his body from the medals that he carries on the sash that he wears, as well as the packs. And they're not taking in as many calories as what they're burning during the day. And, I've seen pictures of their feet, and they're resting at night. So it takes a lot of mind and mastery to overcome the physical, right? And that's what they're showing us. They're working through it. And many of them, there's one especially that always has that smile on his face. He's just smiling. Like maybe he doesn't even feel his feet. I don't know. But it's where you put your focus. And it's giving you that foundation to return back to. So they're showing us how they do it. And then I'm asking you to think about your life and find ways that you can do this so that you can bring yourself into a state of peace. And this helps your nervous system. It keeps your nervous system calmer, keeps your body running smoother. It keeps the electrical system of the body healthier. So all the energy can go to your organs and support the organs to be healthy and strong. So the monk's message is really powerful right now. That monk's message is so powerful right now with the smile on his face, the group of them walking together. There's power in that, and we're recognizing this. And if this resonates with you, like it does with so many people, it goes beyond religious beliefs, and it's going to the heart of humanity. And as we walk with them in spirit, it's reawakening our past lives, our past life selves. And it's reminding us to trust in the divine guidance, that a higher power that's greater than yourself is helping things work out. Just like they carry the packs on their back, but people have come forward and offered supplies. People have offered money to support them. Putting that faith in the higher power allows them to embody peace through emotional mastery and by being grounded. Through stressed bodies, losing the weight, months of walking, and we're all learning this message, but it's reawakening our own past life messages. I've had a past life or two as a monk. It's reawakening some things in me as well. And if this resonates with you, it's a sign that you're an old soul. It may be that you were a monk in a past life, but if it's resonating, this message of peace, it is something that you have carried with you in other lifetimes. and you're carrying it now. And, you know, there's the one monk, I want to say this. There's the one monk who they all started their journey together back in Texas. And then one of the monks and another person were struck by a car, and the monk lost his leg in that accident. He has been in the hospital recovering with he lost his leg. He's forgiven the person who did this, and I believe they were texting on their phone. I think that was the story I read. But he's forgiven that person and focused on healing, because his ultimate goal is being able to join the other monks at the end of the journey in DC. So his focus is not on anger. His focus and his training are on getting to the finish line with the others that I started with, even if I don't have my leg. I can't even imagine. I can't. But this is an example of putting that mastery in play, and then his body is able to heal because all the energy is not being burned off with anger. Okay? So, that everyone started the journey together. He took a different path than the others, but each of the monks on that journey has a individual journey that they're experiencing as well while they walk. So this was what he is here to show us, and it's really putting his belief system into practice the way I see it. So embodied peace is the message here. And it's not just a mindset, it's a soul imprint, and it's an energy. So as they embody this for us, as they show us this, or others who are out in the world, showing us these acts of kindness and compassion, it's awakening that frequency within us. It's reminding us of that, and it's helping us to awaken that frequency in us so that we can reset our nervous system. Each of us is going through challenges, each of us has experiences, but we learn through those experiences. And remember, your soul set up these experiences for you to experience when you came here. Why else come if there's nothing to do, right? But the challenges that you get through are helping to shape your energy as a soul, as a spiritual being of light. And, just like the diamond is a lump of coal that, through the pressures of the energy, form the diamond and shape up the coal, you're being shaped and your energy is being strengthened because of this. So it's a frequency that you can connect with, and then you can bring that into your life moving forward. And just like the monks, awakening these memories in you, helping you to stay grounded, think about how they were born into the world of chaos, just as we have been, but they were drawn into stillness and clarity. They don't preach it. They're not out there to preach. But as others observe this in them, it's helping to shift, and then others are drawn to that peaceful energy. So you can embody peace yourself. How can you do that at home? Think of ways that you can bring more peace into your life. And as you do that, you're shifting your energy. As you're at home, you could walk in the woods, you can walk in the park, you could take a walk by the beach, by a pond. I always like a body of water when I take my walk. You can stand by a tree. You can hug a tree. You don't have to wait to be in the redwoods to hug a tree. You can find a tree near you. Just lean up against it and let the tree lift your burdens off of you and feel that energy of the tree, and send your stress. The tree can take it off of you and send it down into the core of Mother Earth, and then feel Mother Earth's energy rising up in you, strengthening you, so that you can get up and go through your life and do the things that you want to do. and that empower you. When you can learn to shift your focus more easily and more readily, you can move out of places that in the past would have gotten you stuck. As we move forward, we bring all of our energy into now. We release other people's energy and we stand in that moment and we're strengthened by it. And you can just stop, tune in, and listen. Listen to your soul's guidance. Listen to the messages that are coming through. You don't need someone to preach to you. You don't need someone to tell you what to do. You were born knowing what to do, and just stand in your energy and feel that. And then listen. Listen to the messages that come up. And as always, your guides are never critical. They're not judgmental. So if that's what you're getting, that's not your guides. Learn to release that, take a deep breath, exhale that, and then move back into your center and listen. And the more you do this, the more you practice it, the clearer the messages will be. Because the earth is shifting, and as she continues to shift, there's going to be more that you're going to feel. And as you feel this, you need some tools that can help you to fall back on. And as you practice this, it can be simple. You can do it in a matter of seconds. You can reset your mood in a matter of minutes and not take on the stresses. You might be rattled for a moment, recognize that, and then shift out of that and move forward. And let that strengthen you, let that ground you, and carry you forward. So the monks are somewhere in Virginia. I haven't checked in this morning, but they're beyond Richmond, but I don't think they've made it to DC yet. I think they get there next week. But as we all watch them, let it help light up the messages inside us from our past lives. Let our soul remember what we need to remember as this ignites it within us, and carry that message forward in our energy field so that when we're interacting with others, with our families, with our, coworkers, people that we see throughout the day, we are in a space of peace. And then we ignite the peace in others. And if we're in a state where we need some help, their peace helps remind us of peace. And then we're just spreading peace throughout the world with just our energy. And this will help, with the chaotic energies that are out there, this will help counterbalance that. So thank you for tuning in today. You are listening to Bryn Blankinship and the Afterlife Teacher. And if this idea of past life regression, hypnotherapy, past lives interest you, go to my website. We've got the new classes up for 2026. We have the intro classes in February, March, and April that lead to level 1 at the end of April and level 2 in May. Level 1 is hypno skill sets, which leads to past life hypno regression as the next one. And if this is something that calls to you on your path to purpose, contact me. We'll get you signed up, and you can be helping others explore their past lives and how they help you now. All right? Until next time, thanks. You've been listening to Afterlife Teacher, Soul Lessons bringing you. Tune into Transformation Talk Radio for more discussions of the soul's journey across different lifetimes and soul lessons gained, helping you to consider the deeper reason you are here. Bryn shares her wisdom spanning 20 years of guiding spiritual regression clients into the afterlife and connecting them with their spiritual team and soul's purpose to bring them full circle, helping you gain insight into your own soul's purpose while supporting others in fulfilling theirs. Living in partnership with your soul, with less worry and greater trust, you can be in divine flow and thrive. For more information on becoming a certified hypnotherapist and regressionist and assisting with the global transformation taking place, visit brynblankinship.com.